Al Pacino est l'un des acteurs les plus estimés à Hollywood.
He is one of the world's premier actors, no question. He's intelligent beyond belief.
He's such a presence, you know.
Cet acteur de la méthode est apparu sur scène dans les années 70 dans une série de drames. Bien que ses amis le disent timide, il a passé ses 40 dernières années à incarner des personnages iconiques plus vrais que nature.
He's a great actor. He's unbelievable. He's also completely out of his mind.
Go on, man! I'm just totally crazy. He's not only an artist, he's a poet and a clown.
He's a supreme talent, and he's the guy that everybody wishes they could be.
I just want to say, this is simply the craziest thing I've ever done.
Alfredo James Pacino est né le 25 avril 1940 dans le Bronx, à New York. Son père, Sal, n'avait que 17 ans et avait quitté l'école. Peu après sa naissance, la mère d'Al, Rose, les a abandonnés. Al a vécu avec son père jusqu'à ce que Sal soit enrôlé. Il a envoyé Al vivre avec Rose et ses grands-parents.
Al Pacino was born in Harlem and raised in the Bronx, and he was a very sensitive child, kind of a loner. In fact, he said that he wasn't even really allowed out of the house by himself until he was 7. He would go to the movies with his mother. That was his big outlet. She would take him to see everything, even things that he was way too young to see. And then after the movie, he would go home and act out the whole thing for his grandparents in their kitchen.
When I was a kid, they'd say, "Oh, Sonny, do this, sing that song the way you were singing the other day," and you'd do it, and you'd get attention, and you'd get sort of a kind of acceptance that people would like you for doing it. And I'd go see my dad, because my mother and father were separated. So I'd go see him on occasion, and he would take me and say to groups of people, "Do the guy from the Lost Weekend looking for the bottle." And at 5 or 6 years old, I would just start looking, you know, through the shelves and stuff like this, showing how this guy is desperation. And he was so desperate when he went looking for that bottle. But they all laughed at it. And I thought that they're laughing, what's so funny? But a 6-year-old kid going around.
Al n'a jamais été un bon étudiant, il avait un problème avec l'autorité, mais son amour de la comédie l'a mené à New York High School of the Performing Arts. À 16 ans toujours agité, il a quitté l'école surtout pour gagner de l'argent pour aider sa mère malade. En 1958, Al a déménagé dans le Greenwich Village où il a vécu de petits boulots et s'est immergé dans le théâtre.
My preference to the theater simply because it's the life that I was most familiar with and the life that attracted me to being an actor, which kept me as an actor, and where I feel most like I am enjoying the lifestyle of it.
La mère d'Al est tragiquement décédée à 43 ans alors qu'il avait 22 ans.
Well, my mom was a great influence on my life, great. A real encourager in terms of acting too, because she was quite interested in the theater.
Al a auditionné et a été accepté au célèbre Actors Studio, où ses héros James Dean et Marlon Brando avaient aussi étudié.
When I saw Brando for the first time in the movies, I just felt I had a different response to it and I wasn't the only one. Millions of people all over the world reacted to someone who was doing something on the screen that was new. But Dean, for me, had a kind of like I often said, he was like a sonnet. And we all loved him.
Pacino a percé lorsqu'il a joué dans la pièce d'off-Broadway The Indian Wants the Bronx. Les critiques étaient élogieuses. Il a obtenu sur Broadway un rôle de psychopathe dans Does a Tiger Wear a Necktie. Il a gagné un Tony et Hollywood a remarqué ce nouvel acteur de la méthode.
Al's first movie was the drama Panic in Needle Park, and he admits that he got drunk when he watched it for the first time. He was so nervous to see himself on the big screen. And his memories are that he was blown away by how bouncy he was. He thought he was all over the place, but also that he thought he had something. He thought, okay, I have some talent, I need help, but I have something.
En 1970, Pacino a attiré l'attention d'une autre révélation, Francis Ford Coppola.
Action!
Al allait être catapulté vers la célébrité internationale.
Though it's impossible to imagine anyone other than Al Pacino as Michael Corleone in The Godfather, the studio originally didn't want him at all. He was totally unknown, but Francis Ford Coppola knew that he was the right guy for the part.
Action.
Coppola a fait d'innombrables essais avec Pacino, encore inconnu, alors que les studios voulaient un nom connu.
I didn't know what was going on. I mean, movies were very new to me. I was aware that they didn't want me. And
why are all those people bothering you?
at one point, it was actually, you know, it seemed okay, finally. I thought, Francis, look, I mean, we'll do another movie together. Well, anyway, he just stayed with it. It was his tenacity, and that got me in there.
When I read The Godfather, whenever I would see the character of Michael, I saw Al's face.
À la sortie du film en 1972, le succès tant commercial que critique fut immense. Al a été nommé pour l'Oscar du meilleur second rôle. En même temps, il a quitté sa petite amie de toujours, Jill Clayburgh, rencontrée pendant ses années théâtre. Il a commencé à sortir avec sa partenaire dans Le Parrain, Diane Keaton.
You really get close on a picture. You get familiar with each other, and you try to learn about each other, and you go out together, and you know, so you develop a relationship and a trust.
Pacino a accepté ce qui deviendrait un autre rôle iconique, celui de Frank Serpico, le policier hyper réel qui a dénoncé la corruption de la police new-yorkaise.
When Al was playing a cop in the movie Serpico, the part kind of went to his head a little bit, and he tells a story about when he was off set, he actually tried to arrest somebody. He saw a truck that was polluting, and he literally pulled them over and flashed his badge and tried to arrest him.
Le film lui a offert sa deuxième nomination aux Oscars. Personne ne pensait qu'une suite pouvait être meilleure que l'original. Mais en 1974, quand Al a retrouvé Francis Ford Coppola pour Le Parrain 2, le film a gagné l'Oscar du meilleur film. Cette suite du Parrain voyait le personnage d'Al, Michael Corleone, être le nouveau Don, tout en insérant l'histoire de la montée au pouvoir de son père à Little Italy. Robert De Niro jouait le jeune Vito Corleone, le rôle de Marlon Brando dans le premier. La combinaison de De Niro et Pacino a fait de ce film un énorme succès et Al a été nommé pour la 3e fois aux Oscars. À suivre, avec 3 nominations aux Oscars et un Tony en quelques années, le jeune acteur méthodiste pourra-t-il garder les critères qu'il s'est fixés?
I don't do something because, you know, I think it's going to be controversial. I usually do it because I feel there's something in it that I can relate to in terms of the character. I'm an actor.
I think that he has the ability just to command, to be very commanding. The way he walks, the way he moves. Whoa! And his voice, he's just grounded.
Give me a goddamn break in this town!
En quelques années, ce décrocheur qui avait des problèmes avec la loi et souvent sans abri a explosé à l'écran. Dans une série de rôles puissants et s'est avéré l'un des nouveaux acteurs hollywoodiens les plus populaires et captivants. Un an après Le Parrain 2, Pacino jouait dans le film de casse Un après-midi de chien, un autre succès. Il jouait un voleur malchanceux qui avait besoin d'argent pour l'opération de changement de sexe de son amant. Les personnages étaient tirés d'un couple réel.
And they were real people. These two people existed. And that's always an advantage when making a movie. What we did with Dog Day is that conversation on the telephone finally came about because we found out that it really happened, that they really talked to each other.
When they were doing Dog Day Afternoon, Al Pacino was originally cast in the movie, got cold feet, wanted to quit. Dustin Hoffman stepped in, but eventually the part ended up going back to Al.
Pacino a été nommé pour la 4e fois aux Oscars, mais Jack Nicholson l'a battu avec Vol au-dessus d'un nid de coucou. Sur une carrière filmographique d'à peine quelques années, Pacino avait été nommé 4 fois pour cette récompense, mais devait encore la gagner. Les années suivantes, Al a disparu des écrans, surtout afin de se concentrer sur la cure de son alcoolisme, mais aussi pour revenir à ses premières amours, le théâtre.
I enjoyed that. It was a way to deal with, you know, melancholy or whatever.
I'm between the movies and the theater, and that's sort of my life, so I don't consider myself one or the other. I like movies in some ways as much as I like the theater.
Pendant ce temps, il a gagné son 2e Tony pour la pièce de Broadway The Basic Training of Pablo Hummel. Il a décidé de revenir au cinéma lorsqu'on lui a offert 1 million pour Justice pour tous. Il a offert une autre performance intense et passionnée. Il a de nouveau été nommé aux Oscars mais a perdu contre Dustin Hoffman dans Kramer contre Kramer, un film et un rôle qu'Al avait refusé. Al vivait à présent à New York avec l'actrice allemande Marthe Keller, une relation qui a duré 5 ans. Là-bas, il a tourné un autre sombre drame, La chasse pour Billy Friedkin. Dans ce film controversé, il jouait un policier novice qui choisissait d'aller sous couverture dans la communauté queer gay de New
In
York.
William Friedkin's Cruising, Al plays a New York cop who goes undercover in the sort of gay leather scene to try to find a killer. And when it was being shot in New York City, the gay community there got really upset about the content of the movie and was protesting, and they were on the set all the time with signs, and it was a big deal. And Al said that he never saw that coming, and even to this day, it's kind of a sensitive subject.
En 1983, Al Pacino a joué dans un autre film de mafia iconique, Scarface, écrit par Oliver Stone et réalisé par Brian De Palma. Le film et sa performance étaient exagérés et la critique l'a descendu, mais il est vite devenu culte.
These are really, really wild scenes, you know, one after another, and that's what the movie has, is that every scene has this commitment to this, like, wildlife.
Scarface is undoubtedly one of Al Pacino's most iconic roles, but at the time it came out, it was not well received. The critics didn't like it at all, and Al tells a story about after the very first screening, he went out to dinner at Sardi's, and when he walked in the room, everyone just turned and looked at him. They were like sculptures because they didn't know what to say. He was in this movie that everyone was panning, except Liza Minnelli. She hadn't seen the movie. And so when Al walked over to her, she said, "Al, what did you do to all these people?"
I feel the character is different than anything I've done. It's more of a, I would say I worked harder on the part than not harder, that's the wrong word. Hard is just sort of another connotation. I worked more profusely when I started. I had never done this with a role before, where I went and I met with the lady doing the costumes and the makeup person and the hair person. We would have long discussions out at my house by the water about how I felt the guy I was going to try to be would be like.
Pacino affirme qu'il s'agit du film le plus populaire qu'il ait fait. En 1989, Al rejoint un policier dans Mélodie pour un meurtre avec Ellen Barkin. Ce film noir a offert à Al une nomination aux Golden Globes. Puis en 1990, Pacino a pu passer à un niveau supérieur lorsque Warren Beatty l'a choisi comme gangster dans Dick Tracy. À l'affiche du film, il y avait Warren Beatty et Madonna, mais Pacino a volé la vedette avec un humour incroyable. Il a été nommé pour l'Oscar du meilleur second rôle.
When it came time to make The Godfather Part 3, Al Pacino asked for $7 million. Well, the director, Francis Ford Coppola, was outraged at that idea, and he even flirted with the idea of starting the script with Michael Corleone's funeral, so he didn't have to deal with Al at all. But eventually they came to terms, and Al got a reported $5 million to do the movie.
Le Parrain 3 est une histoire originale du réalisateur Francis Ford Coppola sur comment il voyait la fin de la saga de Michael Corleone. Le film a réuni les amants Pacino et Diane Keaton, et Sofia, la fille de Coppola, y jouait aussi un rôle.
3 now is about how to sort of cope with all that's happened and pave the way for the third generation.
Il a lancé une nouvelle génération avec Andy Garcia.
Well, his devotion to his craft and his, his dedication to it and his deep love of it, and he loves to work, he loves to explore, and he loves to act, which is a beautiful thing to still have that passion for it.
Malheureusement, le film a été un échec commercial et critique.
One of Al's proudest achievements, apart from all his films, is stopping smoking in the 90s. He was smoking up to 4 packs a day, and he knew it was bad for his voice, bad for his health, bad for his career, and he managed to quit.
À suivre, Al retrouve sa partenaire de Scarface, Michelle Pfeiffer, dans le drame Frankie et Johnny.
Al played a short-order cook in the romance Frankie and Johnny opposite Michelle Pfeiffer, and he actually really got into it. He loved being in the kitchen and flipping the burgers and making the fries, and he once said that if acting ever went away for him, that's what he'd be, a cook in a diner. Al Pacino's a big fan of other actors and is always on the lookout for new talent. In fact, when he was making the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, he saw a young actor on stage, Kevin Spacey, and recommended him to the director, and before you know it, they were co-starring together, and it was actually Kevin's first movie.
It's very nice to be here.
En 1992, Al a donné la réplique à un jeune Chris O'Donnell dans Le Temps d'un week-end. Il y jouait un colonel aveugle, amer et énervé qui engage un jeune étudiant naïf comme assistant. Cette année-là, Hal a été nommé pour 2 Oscars, celui de meilleur second rôle pour son rôle de représentant dans Glengarry et celui de meilleur acteur pour Le Temps d'un week-end. Enfin, après 8 nominations et à 54 ans, Hal a gagné son premier Oscar.
Al Pacino finally won his Oscar for Scent of a Woman, and by that time he was very humbled and very grateful. He compared the feeling to winning at the Olympics, and when he was on stage in his speech, he made sure to thank all the people that had believed in him, like his acting coaches, and he said the feeling was like winning a gold medal at the Olympics.
Pacino ne s'est pas reposé sur ses lauriers, il s'est replongé dans la réalisation. En 1993, il a retrouvé le réalisateur de Scarface, Brian De Palma, pour le thriller L'Impasse. Il donnait la réplique à Sean Penn et à Penelope Ann Miller, qu'il a brièvement courtisé après leur rencontre. Le film offrait aussi un rôle à John Leguizamo et Viggo Mortensen. Ça n'a pas été un énorme succès critique ou commercial, mais sa popularité a cru après la sortie en vidéo, tout comme Scarface. Al Pacino et Robert De Niro étaient considérés comme des icônes, mais n'avaient jamais joué ensemble. Même s'ils étaient tous deux dans Le Parrain 2, ils ne partageaient aucune scène.
Michael Mann's crime drama Heat is best known as the movie that finally put Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in a scene together. They had both been in Godfather 2 but never shared camera time. So in Heat, they finally got to do this amazing scene in a restaurant. Well, the scene was so memorable that people go to that restaurant, Kate Manalini in Beverly Hills, and ask for that table. And if you do go, it's table number 71.
How you approach that scene, how you're going to do that scene. Both guys were the same mind, where we talked about it a bunch, we sampled some lines of it a little bit, but we were smart enough, the three of us, to never really do the whole scene in a rehearsal, to save it up. Because there's no doubt they were going to be totally in character, but to save it up for when we were across that table at Kate Manalini, and the lighting was right, and the cameras were right, and there wasn't going to be a focus issue. And I set it up to do it with 3 cameras. So it was shot with 3 cameras, 2 overs and a 2-shot, which I never used. And the reason for that was because I knew that any one give and take would have its own organic unity. It would have its own identity. And that take 11 between the 2 of them would be a little bit different than take 13 between the 2 of them. And most of the scene is all from 1 take, it's all from take 11.
You guys planning on having a couple of drinks in there together tonight?
Well, I don't drink, but I can start tonight.
À suivre, arrêter l'alcool et les cigarettes pourrait expliquer pourquoi Hal fait plus de films à 60 ans qu'à 30. La génération hollywoodienne suivante fait la file pour partager l'affiche avec ce symbole. Et même si les cloches ne sonnent pas de mariage, la cigogne passe quand même. Pacino avait enfin gagné un Oscar, 20 ans après sa première nomination. Ça a renforcé ce que la majorité savait déjà, il était une légende.
Well, thank you so much.
À un âge où la plupart des acteurs font moins de films et reçoivent moins de propositions, ce n'est pas arrivé à Pacino. Le public faisait la file pour voir ses films. Et la génération hollywoodienne suivante voulait que le célèbre acteur de la méthode joue avec eux.
I've been very lucky to work with Al.
Johnny Depp a travaillé avec Hal dans Donnie Brasco en 1998.
Al's incredibly generous. He's a really, really generous actor. He's a great actor. He's unbelievable.
It's such an, I mean, it's like to me meeting the Pope.
He's a master of subtlety. The underneath, you know, the subtext.
I'm getting excited here.
I think it's interesting that it's a mob movie because you've never quite seen the mob like this.
And action!
Pacino has 2 acting selves. One is the leading man, and the other is that he's a God-given character actor.
It was great working with Johnny. Johnny's great. I love him. I love working with him. He's funny and he's so friendly to me and so wonderful. And so I just can't say enough about him.
Ensuite, Al a partagé l'affiche avec Keanu Reeves dans L'Associé du Diable.
The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves seems like another part that was tailor-made for Al Pacino, but originally he didn't want to do it. He told the director that he needed to get Sean Connery or Robert Redford, that he was all wrong for the part. But the director, Taylor Hackford, kept changing the script and coming back to Al over and over again, and after 5 times, Al finally said yes.
Puis Al a donné la réplique à Russell Crowe dans Révélation. Il a enchaîné ce succès avec un nouveau partenariat avec Oliver Stone dans le film sur le football, L'Enfer du Dimanche.
Al jumped at the chance to do the movie Any Given Sunday for a number of reasons. First of all, he'd been playing all kinds of cops and mobsters, and here was this football coach character that was totally different than anything he had done. And it also gave him a chance to work with Oliver Stone, who had written the screenplay for Scarface, but had never directed Al.
À l'affiche, Cameron Diaz et Jamie Foxx.
You know, when you go into it, everybody's like, you're nervous, you're gonna be okay. You know, it's Al Pacino. So that kind of sunk in a little bit, and then so I came in just, you know, rough and tough, ready to do my thing. And he was the nicest cat in the world. He made everything simple, and he said, look, you know, as long as you got your lines learned, and he would go over it with you, because, you know, at first I didn't want to bother him. He had you come in the trailer. It was kind of like going in to see The Godfather. Every time, you know, he said, Al wants to see you. Don't cheat. I come in, you know.
I think it was amazing to have the opportunity to work with an actor like that. You know, it's one of those things that you're in it for survival. You're trying to like do the best that you can at the moment, but he's such a presence, you know. He did theater for 10 years before he ever did a movie, and he was, you know, in his late 20s when he did his first film, and so he has like he's used to, I think that he has the ability just to command, to be very commanding, which is great. He's playing a coach, pushing around, you know, 280-pound guys, you know, and getting them to listen up.
En 2002, Al a joué avec un de ses acteurs préférés, Robin Williams, dans un thriller, Insomnia. Un film réalisé par Christopher Nolan qui allait prendre les commandes de la franchise Batman.
While a lot of movie stars are known for having multiple marriages, Al Pacino is known for having no marriages. He's been involved with a number of beautiful actresses, sometimes for years at a time. People like Jill Clayburgh, Tuesday Weld, Penelope Ann Miller, Kathleen Quinlan, Diane Keaton, and some he's lived with for years at a time, but he never tied the knot.
Al était cependant devenu père. Il avait une fille, Julie Marie, avec sa formatrice en comédie, Yann Tarrant, et des jumeaux avec l'actrice Beverly D'Angelo.
The cop drama The Recruit gave Al the chance to work with the hot up-and-coming actor Colin Farrell. Well, Farrell at the time had a very bad reputation, kind of a wild party guy, but he and Pacino got along famously. In fact, Al called him the most talented actor of his generation.
He's just great fun to be with, and so I never felt any mentor relationship with him as much as I just felt a fellow actor working with him, and it was great, and he's fun to be with. And then you're sorry when it's over, but you really want to see him.
The HBO miniseries Angels in America offered an amazing part for Al Pacino, the part of Roy Cohn. Al delivered another tour de force performance, and he got an Emmy for the performance, which gave him the Triple Crown. He had an Oscar, he had a Tony, and now an Emmy.
It means, you know, that you're still here, and people they're appreciating whatever you've done, and it feels really great. It's a lot of feelings.
Al a continué sa relation avec HBO dans un docudrame avec Susan Sarandon, La vérité sur Jack, qui traitait le controversé docteur Jack Kevorkian et sa mission d'assistance au suicide pour des patients à l'agonie.
The character of Jack Kevorkian was elusive and different for me. I've never played anyone like this.
Il a gagné un autre Emmy pour sa performance ainsi qu'un Golden Globe.
This is good. I think I can catch a couple of winks here.
En 2007, George Clooney lui a demandé de rejoindre la distribution d'Ocean's 13.
Some guys I take seriously tell me you're a serious guy.
Il a aussi joué une parodie de lui dans Jack et Julie d'Adam Sandler.
I play Pacino. I play Al Pacino, and I play him. So I made him a little bit nuts. So he was pretty crazy during the shoot. he's pretty crazy in the movie, and so let's hope he's funny. So I guess I did it as a method actor would do it.
Cet acteur de la méthode, originaire du Bronx, a offert ses talents à des films de chaque décennie depuis les années 70, stupéfiant le public à chaque nouvelle performance, obtenant à chaque fois le titre d'icône du cinéma.
He's a chameleon, you know, he's really amazing.
It's true.
Al may be the best working actor in the film business today.
Well, the pleasure's all mine.
He's absolutely insane, certifiably insane, which is good, you know.
He's someone who I think really is all about the acting. It's not about being grandiose or making a big deal out of the fact that he's just about everyone's favorite actor.
Who speaks of triumph? To endure is everything, right?